Hello, my dear students. Myself, Dr. Pitambar Humne, founder Botany for You, and working as Associate Professor and Head Department of Botany, Dharampet MP Deo Memorial Science College, Nagpur, Maharashtra, India. Once again, I welcome you all in this online platform for the students of Life Sciences Botany for You. Friends, if you are new or not yet subscribed our YouTube channel, then kindly like, share, and subscribe our YouTube channel Botany for You. Today, in this lecture, we will see the most important topic from the genetics, and that is DNA damage. And in the next lecture, we will see the DNA repair. To avoid the unnecessary increase in the length of the lecture, I have tried to provide this topic in the two different lectures. So let's see the DNA damage in this lecture. So friends, first of all, we have to understand about what is DNA damage. I am giving one example to you to differentiate the DNA damage, the mutation, and the DNA repair, so that we can easily remember the meaning of all these terms forever. Say for example, if any person is, that is the A, and having the accident. Now, after the accident of this person, directly we cannot say the person is handicapped. Instead, we can say the person having this accident is injured. So, there is need of the treatment to this person for the complete recovery. So, we can say that one is the DNA damage. The second one that we have earlier seen, that is the mutation, and the upcoming topic, that is the DNA repair. So, if the person who is injured with the accident can be treated, and after the treatment he will or she will be a normal. Now, if you see, this accident is nothing but the different factors which are responsible for the introduction of the DNA damage, and the injury, which is nothing but the DNA damage. But directly, the injured person cannot be considered as a handicap because it can be treated to make it normal. So, if we compare the DNA damage to that of the mutation, then we can easily understand with this example that if this treatment is not able to make this person normal and having the certain deformity in the body, then we can say that the person is handicapped. And such a type of the condition in the DNA of the organism, if it is handicapped or having the certain changes, that is nothing but the mutation. And if we see this repair mechanism, that is nothing but this treatment after the injury to the DNA, that is nothing but the damage to the DNA. So, in this way, we can easily understand the difference in between the DNA damage, mutation, and the repair. If you see this background image or the thumbnail image of this lecture, so it is a Cockayne syndrome, that is a genetic syndrome. in the human beings. And this is because of the DNA damage on chromosome 5 at the two different locations. But after this DNA damage, if this DNA molecule is not repaired, then it result into the disease or the genetic disorder, and that is known as the Cockayne syndrome. If we see the symptoms of the Cockayne syndrome, then it will be the short stature, that the height will be the less. Then the second one, that is the photosensitivity, and the third one, that is the progeria, that is the aging at the young age. So these are the very common symptoms. There are the different types of the Cockayne syndrome, that is type 1, type 2, type 3, etc., depending upon the symptoms. And in US, it was found 1 in 2.5 lakhs in 1992, and it is equally found in the male and the female organisms, as well as in all type of the human races. This mutation or the damage, when it convert into the mutation, it becomes recessive gene, and hence the Cockayne syndrome is inheritable. So this was about one of the reason or the one of the syndrome in the human being caused due to the failure in the DNA repair after DNA damage. If you see the normal conditions in the human beings, that is estimated rate of the DNA damage per day, and that is the single standard break are about the 50,000. Depurination, that is the removal of the purine from the DNA strand, that is about the 10,000. Deamination, removal of the amino group, that is 600. Oxidative base damage, that is 2000. Alkylated bases 5000. Intrastrand crosslink 10. Then DNA double strand break 10. Then total DNA damage even per cell per day, that is 60,000. And the total DNA damage per cell per hour, that is the 2500. On the basis of this, you can imagine the total DNA damage in human beings, and equally near about similar is found in the higher plants or in eukaryotic organisms. And on the basis of this, you can imagine how this topic is important with respect to the study of the different genetic disorders in the plants as well as the animals. There are different sources of the DNA damage, which include the spontaneous, that is natural, even the environmental, that is the radiation, ionizing and the non-ionizing radiations, some of the chemical compounds which are responsible for the formation of the cancer, like that is the carcinogens, and even during the DNA replication there is certain mistakes, and that are also responsible for the introduction of the DNA damage. In addition to that, they are considered to be the spontaneous or due to the loss of the bases, and that include the alkylation of the bases and oxidation of the bases, which are responsible to lose the certain nitrogen bases from the DNA molecule, which are responsible for the change in structural change in the DNA molecule. Then the second one, that is the ultraviolet induced damage to the DNA molecule, and the formation of the cyclobutane dimers, and even the 6,4 phosphoproducts, that is the linkage in between the two nitrogen bases which are present on the strand, that is the either purine or the pyrimidines. So in this way, there are the various different sources which are responsible for the DNA damage in the organism, that may the plant or that may the animal. Here these are the different types of the DNA damage, means how the DNA damage or in what type there is a DNA damage. So first one, that is the intercalations, when the certain chemical compounds added in between the two DNA strands or they join the two DNA strands in the DNA molecule, then it is known as the intercalations, which are responsible to inhibit the replication or the functioning of the DNA molecule. Then certain chemical compounds are responsible to join in between the certain nitrogen bases which are present on the same strand, that is known as the intra-strand cross. But when they are responsible to cross the two different nitrogen bases which are present on the two different strands of the same DNA molecule, then it is known as the interstrand cross or the interstrand link. Again, there is a possibility of the formation of the radicals by the different nitrogen bases which are present on the DNA molecule or the DNA strand. Then if there is a breakage to the phosphodiester bond on the one strand, then it becomes the single stranded break. But if there is a breakage on the phosphodiester bond of both the strands, then it becomes the double stranded break. Then a pyrimidinic site formation, that removal of the pyrimidine, or even when the purine is removed, then there is a formation of the apurinic site. Again, there is a deamination in presence of the water, that is known as the hydrolytic deamination, that is the removal of the amino group from the nitrogen base. This even there is a base damage, that there is a change in the nitrogen base because of the deamination, alkylation, oxidation, etc. Then formation of the DNA protein cross link, if some of the proteins are linked to the DNA strand, then there is a formation of the DNA protein cross link. Again, due to the some ultraviolet radiations, there is a formation of the link in between the two thymine bases on the same DNA molecule, same DNA strand, that is known as the formation of the pyrimidine dimer or thymine dimer. Then addition of the methyl group, that is the alkylation. Again, there is a joining in between the pyrimidine or the purine bases, formation of the bonds in between them, that is known as the 6,4 photoproduct. Then bulky adduct, there is a addition or the joining of some of the chemical compounds to the DNA strand which are responsible for the formation of the bulky adduct, which is also known as the DNA adduct, and the loss of the bases, that is removal of the certain nitrogen bases from the DNA strands. So in this way, because of all these different types, there is a formation of the damaged DNA, and hence we have said that these are the different types of DNA damage. So we will see the step by step how the different reasons are there and how there is a formation of the DNA damaged strands. So first one, that is the spontaneous alteration of the bases. Here this is a DNA strand. These are the sugar, that is the deoxyribose sugar. Then this is a phosphate which is responsible to attach the two sugar molecule or the nucleotides with each other by means of the phosphodiester bond. And these are the nitrogen bases, that is guanine, cytosine, thymine and adenine. So the first one, that is the oxidative damage, means here the arrows which are given and that are pink, that show the site of the different nitrogen bases where there is a possibility of the oxidative damage to the DNA molecule. Again, there is a hydrolytic attack that shows with the blue arrow. So because of the hydrolytic attack, there is a formation of apyrination or apyrimidination, that is the removal of the purine or the pyrimidine base, and even removal of the amino group. So these are the effects of hydrolytic attacks. And the third one type, that is the uncontrolled methylation. So this is shown by the green arrow. So in this way, on the DNA strand, there are the different locations where oxidative damage, then hydrolytic attack, and uncontrolled methylation is possible. And because of this, there is a change in the sequence of DNA molecule, loss of the nitrogen base, or the change in the nitrogen base in the molecule, and hence that is responsible for the alteration of the bases in the DNA molecule. And this is carried out in the cell naturally, and hence it is known as the spontaneous alteration of the bases. First one, that is a oxidative DNA damage. Here we have taken an example of the guanine, and this is a oxidation of the DNA or oxidation of the guanine. After the oxidation of this guanine, that is one of the purine or the nitrogen bases, which is responsible for the formation of 7,8-dihydro-8-oxoguanine after the oxidation, and which isomerizes with the 8-dihydroxyguanine. So in this way, there is a formation of the two different compounds after the oxidation of the guanine. And in this way, here this nitrogen base is changed. If this nitrogen base change in a first case, that is when there is a formation of 8-oxoguanine, it leads to the transversion mutation. It means that the guanine is a purine, and if it is replaced by pyrimidine, then we can say that it is a transversion mutation. And such type of the mutations are responsible to cause the cancer in the organisms. Even there is a altered transcription, means the process of the transcription will change, that is the change in the sequence of nitrogen bases, because after change in the guanine, instead of forming the hydrogen bonds with the thymine, it will bind to that of the thymine or the adenine, and in this way there will be the change in the sequence of nitrogen bases during transcription or even in the replication. The second one, that is the DNA methylation, means here addition of the methyl group in the nitrogen base. Just like to the earlier example that we have taken there, the guanine. Here we have taken the example of the cytosine. Though there is a possibility of the methylation in all the type of the nitrogen bases, that is adenine, thymine, guanine, and the cytosine. Here there is a methylation of the cytosine, and after methylation it convert into the 5-methyl cytosine. After methylation of this cytosine, instead of binding the cytosine to that of the guanine, as it is a normal nitrogen base pairing in between the complementary nitrogen bases, it is now responsible to form the hydrogen bonds with the adenine, and later on the adenine will form the hydrogen bonds with the thymine, and hence the GC pair later on will be replaced by the AT pair, and in this way there will be the change in the sequence of nitrogen bases in the DNA, which leads to the DNA damage. In the second one, that is, this is the third type, that is the hydrolytic attack, and the second type, that is the depurination and deamination. So here this is a deamination shown here, the cytosine, adenine, guanine and methyl cytosine. So after the deamination, D means the degeneration of the amino group, and hence it is known as the deamination, that we have already seen in the lecture of mutation. So here this amino group is removed during the deamination, and hence the cytosine convert into the uracil, adenine convert into the hypoxanthine, guanine convert into the xanthine, and 5-methyl cytosine convert into the thymine, and in this way there is change in the nitrogen bases. Because of this change in the nitrogen bases by the deamination, the nitrogen base pairing or complementary nitrogen base pairing get changes, which leads to the DNA damage. If you see the depurination, means removal of the purine from the DNA strand. So this is a DNA strand where here there is a presence of the cytosine and here there is a presence of the guanine. Now this cytosine is responsible to bind with the 3 hydrogen bond with the guanine, and the guanine bind with the cytosine. But after hydrolysis, here there is a deamination, and later on here you will find that there is a formation of the uracil. So this is given here, means loss of this amino group from the cytosine, and there is a tautomeric shift which result into the formation of the uracil. But on hydrolysis of the guanine, here there is a loss of complete purine base, and hence here there is no presence of the nitrogen base, that is the removal of the complete purine nitrogen base, and that is known as the depurination. And in this way, because of either depurination or the deamination, again there is a change in the sequence of nitrogen bases, which leads to the formation of DNA damage. Then third one type, that is the formation of thymine dimer. So when there are the presence of the 2 thymines, that is the pyrimidine nitrogen bases on the DNA strand or each strand, then because of irradiation or the radiation with ultraviolet light, there is a formation of the bonds in between the 2 adjacent thymine bases. When the 2 thymine bases form the dimers because of the formation of the bonds in between them, they will not be further bonded, or they will not form the hydrogen bonding with the adjacent adenine nitrogen base on the opposite strand, and in this way here there will be a change in DNA structure of the DNA molecule. So these are the different methods through which there is a change in the structure of DNA molecule or the nitrogen bases or loss of the nitrogen bases, which are commonly called as DNA damage. How these DNA damage are repaired in the cell of the eukaryotic organisms, that we will see in the next lecture. that is DNA repair. I am hopeful that this lecture will be helpful to you in your studies. If you will have any doubt, then you can comment in the comment box so that I can reply to you. Because of the time constraint, it is not possible to provide the lectures lengthy through the YouTube channel, and hence very peculiar topics I am trying to provide through this different lecture series in the genetics. If you like this lecture, then kindly like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel Botany for You, and also press bell icon for the alerts of every lecture to be uploaded on different life sciences titles. Thanks a lot once again.